Can't we understand someday? Well, why can't that be one now? What's around? Are you afraid? What's memorized for the wave flags? Is this the final for rest memories? Full knocking. Trips to Jesus again, saving lost ways like lives to take. Height for the prizes to burn across this path of bridges years ago. Flash and flesh between father and you. Swam for the catapult for the death spirit. Anchoring your reaching fully aware before time begins. And I made it here and made it again to see me through it. And I can find what's now I did what you did for the splendor, for the shame, for the this frankly nothing said to me. I did it all ways in my way, but I turned ears to silver for the reading, the broadcast, passing antennas, and the receiving the point from dissipate. Past God. Let give and return. Getting past God and left give and return like turkeys and taste buds in November for the remember that when the animals were eating behind the rhythm of the say the rhythm of I can find the guy to forget. Death for decades to return to drums beating with the treasure chest. She loves to dance and brings to just a vessel with bloody distribution, a place to the store that breaks the conscious highlighting. Pages of her life, and this is hurting now. The nine awakened symphony serves as speakers, and this is sending and feeling notes high, steaming with the love in blue, the notes veins, and near you for the kicking of the blue blood. Kick up the blue moving into the sky for the vast and loving force. In her lover's eyes, she spills that child linked to the heart for the care for this, not as not the splatter for the let go, for the whispers into the ear for the relax. Fight and sleep, dance, chant, pant, rant. This is what the feel to. You can find the realism like that for the movies, and you can find it convincing herself with rhythm that saves her. The favor that DJ does the same for the dirty fingers of the quantum pay button for the iPhone rings, and you can find the soul resurrected to the dance floor for the heart spins beats, and this is orbiting for the planets and people alike, and this is the cosmic dance to the service sin. This is make music notes placed out in footsteps in time. With the earthly rhythm is forgiveness and the medication of seed and eating, or no words and no for the body beckons the spirit for the releasing of something alien at this point for this familiar. Stone bruised and this is fragile skin for the maturing brain dance loose, and this is what's lost pop light. This is society lost in identity. Then the moon's clutching now, ready to set. Base, lunar proportions. Find what's distorted for this to be the alert for the foretold for the earth for the tone. You can find that for the nutrient. Stride to find what's similar for the this to be the flaw for the accent, for the scent for the appreciation, the balance, and the elements for the breath, and you can meet the ease of existence. Why save the societal norms to serve the spoon fed? Feed affection and inadequacy for the yours of the poison society. Add and nest and set aside to this is here to treat your life, for this is what you find, and this is strive for this to be the whack for the soul. Find it shaken out of your shook what's for the pages of the timelines you look, but the truth of the scribblings of the full of grace and the rich in your head. I find it steadies to yourself. Caught off guard by self-admitted. Like conscious and mental patience and addicts determined for health, and she means not to sicken them for their death, and hastens towards her every pain. Sigh pull for the precious inward. Intentions and love and has more and interesting and comments and added trips for the sip of life and the secrets and the hiccups of the tips of this cup that hurts and her not to spill. Falls apart to serve the demise longer for enough of the hearts to struggle. I can finally withstand her own shortcomings to practice to take patience to dissipations overcoming and after ongoing time tryouts and time to find it long enough turn goals. Love discovered so deep and bubbling, get full of life with the flow with harmoniously with the rhythm and the sum for the knowing nothing is more than that for the basic love and logic of love. Needed besides that scraped knees and scars that for the sake of remembrance. I love you, is it a rhetorical question or do you know it for the point for the reflection of reflecting over the fledging over the wounded wing and sleep of this a long winter's nap away? Partner, sudden and subtle enough for the solitary that's speaking through the this heart channels for the native tongue to deceive her meaning of being lost and careless.
Understand someday. Why can't that be one now? What's around? Are you afraid? What's memorized with the wave flags? This is fine for rest memories. Full knocking. Trips to Jesus getting saved. Lost ways like lives to take. Height for the prizes to burn across this path of bridges years ago. Flash and flesh between father and you. Swam for the catapult of the death spirit. Anchoring your reaching fully aware before time begins. And I made it here and made it again to see me through it. And I can find what's now I did what you did for the splendor for the shame for the discipline. Nothing said it. In the long ways in my way, the man turned ears to silver for the reading. broadcasting past the lieutenants of the past got that given return. Getting past got and left given return like turkeys and taste buds. And in November for the remember that when the animals were eaten with behind the rhyme, the rhythm for the sake of the rhythm of the like to find the begotten to begat. Death for decades to be turned. The drums beating with the treasure chest. She loves to dance previously, just a vessel with a bloody distribution, a place to the store that breaks the conscious highlighting. Pages of her life, and this is hurting now, denied awakened signal, servers and speakers, resist sending and feeling, notes high, steaming with oil, and blue in most veins, and near you kick up the flu moving into the sky for the vast and loving force. And lover's eyes, he spills that, trying to link to the heart, to the care for this battle, that the spider for the let go, whispers into the ear for the relax. Try to sleep, dance, chant, pant, rant. This is what you feel too. Find the rhythm and like that from movies. Find it convincing myself. Rhythm that saves her. Favor that DJ does the same for the dirty fingers of the bump to the pay button for the iPhone ring. Find the soul record to the dance floor for the heart. Spins beats to this orbiting the planets and people like this is cosmic dance to the soul. Singing this is making place out of the studies of life. Rhythms, forgiveness, and medication, sleeping. No words and no the body back in the spirit, release there is something alien at this point. This is familiar. Stone bruised and this is fragile skin from the chewing brain dancing. This is what's lost, caught in light. This is society lost in identity. Then it moves clutching out, ready to set. Base, moon, portion. Fire was distorted for this to be the only alert for the foretold for the earth for the tone. Find after the mutual. Stride to find what's similar for the listen to the flaw for the accent, for the sense, the appreciation, the balance, and the elements of the breath, and you can meet the ease of existence. I say the societal norms of service, feed affection and inadequacy. The words of the poison society. Add and essence sets society. This is how you treat your life, and this is what you find, and this is right, and this is the right, and so find shaking out of your show, what's from the pages of timelines. Scribblings before the grace and the rich and the hair out of concepts. Caught off guard and self-belief. Conscious, mental patience, and attitude turning for help. She means not sicker than the death and hastens towards her every side group, depression, intentions and love and eyes more and interested in comments and added trips for the sip of life and the secrets and the hiccups of the tips of the cup that holds you and hold and not the spill. Falls apart to serve the lines longer for the method of the heart is stronger. I can find a withstand her own shortcomings to practice and take patience and dissipation to overcoming that. Ongoing time trials and time to find the wrong and no time road. Love discover so deep and bubbling, get full of life with the flow of harmonious and with rhythm and the song of another nothing is more than not the face of love and lots of the road. Neither besides that scrape the knees and stars back for the sake of memories. I love you. Is it a rhetorical question or do you know it for the point, for the reflection of reflecting of the fledging of the wounded wing and sleep just as long when it's not the way?
Similar to that, the introduction.
Enough of the solitary just speaking to you.
The moments came, and that was it. Just an expression. The moments came and left. It was from the last breath that I composed, pluckering heartstrings, waiting for reverberation, guided through valleys. Dark towards that mountain you hug, them all dirty for the tones retune, sway where lunacy pulls and severity with ears are honed, life jacket for the giving of moon. You can found and find that this is treason of remembrance for the belly Buddha, learning language to the divided for the simplicity gentleman. Only petals can give that cheek to blush to this brush to crack smiles. Flower language of the perfume of stench, just deep seek past teeth, find clenched for fear reveal fits this flaw, unfettered yet the free to fly. Wings on feet, Greek gods left speechless, behind stone exterior, witness the birth and rebirth, presenting fortunes and like silver discs, stringing the constellation above bedhead, captivated for the truth that you forget, remembering one lifetime instead of many for required songhood and sister sequence, this is body program, this is man trying to find cold, warm blood, symbolism, lost it upon that fallen angel, concentrated with the linear limits with the stars, cross dodgeball, souls stand behind. Some of yawns have practice, distracted by the shadows of the life of the wall. This is an entertainment sake for your shades of increasing classes thick. This is a tight girl's fit for the tide. Expectations manufactured, door eye for the dog face, and the foundation to crumble for the mismatch of your rush through inspection, objective for the weed, mothers everywhere for the crybabies, running mascara, watch fleeting, feds escape from the closet. Close the wardrobe, this word, TV, mouthpiece, this crunching spirits like Cheetos cheesy. Calculated kind of
Haters for the hungry, citizens for lessons in. This is more captivated for the punishment for the how the wars are cooked up with that pre-packaged century enemies. And this is perfected for the evil they're gonna digest it. Before the apple go in, this and induce it to slumber for the deceiving lines. And this Play-Doh smell good but it tastes bad. Ancient rhymes that deliver the road with the babies in the toyland for the spiritual, how bad for the tongues and the sticky. You can find the spores and souls, and this is over the ass for the inherited undeserved prophets. But this is prophets self-proclaiming that this is a plagiarism for the force of the defeating for the falling stars and falling again for the you can find the scourge and sword. Scourge, that's distortion. Birthmarks, identification. Greedy, generous, and this divine steaming soul. Sword. I find one what's the game for this vicious scorch with identified, bear witness. The bastard left this main creature's nature tongue. Forward and hung with the made for the revelation for the fortune. Like a fucking walking earth and just a treadmill for the parts. Reach sharp turns, turn, find the universal dialects. This thing for freedom to feel things. That smiles the same. This is old shirts walking around, flashing like this is cheaper enough to try to cheat before they did before when they weren't afraid. Simon says, ask for permission to rest. This is memorized by flag flags and feeling goodbye to the red, white, and blue kiss and long distance relationship established. Long and go into the future. Chop down like forest for a rest and hair will return. This is same. This is no rare. Still burning scarring senses. God will never find the pattern of the liberal tips of this and that.
Say words, but do you connect with the existence of the words as you know it? Pull forward, watch, this is love pack sign through generations of watching sunrises from east to west, west to I can find the east and stir the mystery, and this is soul with a good dip fingertips. Dips a toe in the mood. Background noise, conversation, converse, feeling she's just ruined with him. This code is slight and dis of him, but the invitation still seals herself with amongst the swimming feelings and inadequate to strength. Promises made for sacred spaces. This curl toes, nose tips rubbed in unison for the body language that's spoken up under the dark covers. And this is where they bathe each other for the hot breath and be held. Gently moonlit eyes, dreaming familiarity for the difference of place. Different face, varying pace, she leaves fragments of broken glass, handles and souls and grasping. Air suffocated no longer for love raps. Around her like cold snake, this is fierce and reassuring despite herself. No matter how many times she cuts her own flowers down, she can never stop springtime bursting out for the shit you can handle life and out for the shit of Paris. This is baffled for the brief encounters of wisdom and madness. Like the mad hat across the confusing fractions of fragment of disillusionment. I can find a forfeit for the self, for a chance of true love in the spoon. Over the presence of the biting of the lips, of just the kisses yearning for the be planted enough for the spring to forth and new deceits and thought. Presence and waters for them, but the verbal showers are coated for the encouragement. Chants poetry over her ancestors, the known path, the track of the memory, the back of the navigation system, new food stock standard. Every human vessel, this regains sight lost without glass, it needs to find a vision to something nothing felt to be saw. Fingertips and wet tongues, no stranger to the body for this religion, or the faithful student. She studies her slightest movement like a child, unabashed, this is admiration and glee, pleased to see her without poisonous scheme, pollution the past days, this pathway to the miracle to come and go like erections for the teen spirits still enthused. Life's capability for the unhinging tears, this is yesteryear for the she embrace. Herself slap support on the back of this is love for the rain pain, this is brain washing over the bright days again and again. I find herself in the fulfillment of above the principles for the forgiveness, condemnation. There's that space between the vast and the left and the right, and she opened arms and legs and stretched beyond the limits of the human condition. Condition temporary like permission, she permits flaws in awakening and the heart unfolding like flower petals in the heat. Sun to warm the soul for purpose and remember sacred geometry for this promise. Faithful is that moment from the mountain summons her to the bedside and find the presence of the light to present herself to the laughter complimentary gift for the picking over each other. I can find a breath. And every night reignited for the fascination we studied after the beginning around and turning out for the listening for the breath of the gentleman. We speak the love and language of the foremothers and find the breath heavy. Baptism and body fluids, this drunk love consuming the Satan tongue, and this is stained enough of the essence, and they feast upon each other like the true natives, and this is beauty so raw, and this is giving over the envelope of the mind of the body, and I can find the same together. Round to view spectacular display of fireworks foster, this is ordinary love, no turn extraordinary for the yet failing weak to pray then over the peace, and disallow for the walls to be weakened by outside influences formed by their holy nature. Silently wept. You say words, but do you connect with the existence of the words as you know it? Pull forward, watch This Is Love Pack sign through generations of watching sunrises in east to west, west to I can find the east to stir the mystery, and this is soul with a good dip fingertips. Dips a toe in the mood. Background noise, conversation, converse, feeling she's just ruined with him. This cold, a slight, and this a him, but the invitation still steals herself with amongst the swimming feelings and inadequate strength. Promises made for sacred space. This is curled toes, nose tips rubbed in unison for the body language is spoken up under the dark covers. This is where they bathe each other for the hot breath and be held. Gently moonlit eyes, dreamy familiarity for the difference in place. Different face, varying pace sheet weeps fragments of broken glass from windows of souls and grasping for air suffocated no longer for love raps. Around her like coiled snakes, this is fierce and reassuring despite herself. No matter how many times she cuts her own flowers down, she can never stop springtime bursting out for she can handle life and out for the shit of Paris. This is bad for the brief encounters in wisdom and madness. Like the Mad Hatter across the confusing fractions of fragment of disillusionment. I can find a forfeit for the self of the for a chance of true love for the spoon with over the presence to the biting in the lips. Of just the kisses yearning for to be planted enough for the spring to forth anew the seeds and thought. Presence and waters with them, but the verbal showers are coated for the encouragement. He chants poetry over her ancestor, the known path, the track for the memory of the back for the navigation system, your fully stock standard. Every human vessel, this regains sight, lost without glasses to lose to find a vision to something enough that felt through and saw. Fingertips and wet tongues, no stranger to the body for this religion or the faithful student. She studies his slightest movement like a child, unabashed, this admiration and glee, pleased to see her without poisonous scheme, pollution the past days. This is past ways and a miracle to come and go like erections for the teen spirits of those that enthuse. Life's capability for the unhinging tears. This is yesteryear for the she embrace. Herself slaps support on the back, and this is love for the rain pain. This is bring washing over the bright days again and again. And I find herself at the fulfillment and above the precipice for the forgiveness or condemnation. Or there's that space between the vast and the left and the right, and she opened arms and legs to stretch beyond the limits of the human condition. Condition temporary like permission, she permits flaws in awakening and the heart unfolding like flower petals in the heat. Sun to warm the soul for purpose and remember sacred geometry for this promise. Faithful as that moment from the mountain summons her to the bedside and find a presence of delight for to present herself for the after complimentary gift for the picking of each other. I can find a breath. And every night reignited for the fascination to study that for the beauty being around that turning now for the just even for the thrust and the genitals of the fluid. And they speak the no other language of the foremothers and father finds the breath heavy. Baptism in the body fluid was this drunk love consuming the Satan tongue, and this was stained enough for the essence and they feast upon each other like the true natives, and this is beauty so raw and just so giving over the envelope of the mind of the body, and I can find the same together. Round the view, spectacular display of fireworks foster, this is ordinary love, no turn extraordinary for the yet fell and weak to pray then over the peace and disallow for the walls to be weakened by outside influences formed by their holy nature. Silently wept.